Welcome back to 100% NUFC. I hope you're all doing really well. Now, the review of yesterday's game, it finished at St James's Park. Newcastle United won, Swansea won. It's a point gained. Now, if you look at both halves, Newcastle dominated the first half. Swansea, I reckon, shaded the second half. Now, this is the team that Rafa Benitez picked for this game. Now, was there any changes for you? I mean, I look at Giorgio Shelby, why is he so defensive? Where was Murphy? These are all questions that have got to be asked, but if I have to give a rating for that team, I'd probably say 6 or 7 because it should be good enough to go out there and beat Swansea City. Now, going into the first half, Newcastle, dominated in terms of chances. I would say for 15-20 minutes, that's all good spell, really. First 15-20 minutes were creating opportunities. The first one through Dwight Gale, a point-blank header missed and went wide of Fabianski's far post. Should do better, should score. And then Perez, he had a great opportunity as well. Just went wide. Should do better with that one as well. Newcastle should be at the lead at this moment. And then after 15-20 minutes, like it has been all season, we'll stop playing. And the intensity just goes from there to there, just like that. And the fans start to get frustrated because, we're paying a hard-earned money to go and watch this team. And yes, I understand it's a championship team playing in the Premier League and it's never going to be easy. But we then play to Swansea's level because they're bottom of the league and they're, away from home. Anything will do for them, really, in terms of getting points. And, we allowed Swansea back into it. They were creating a few opportunities, but they weren't really clear-cut. There were saves that Darlow should, deal with and that the defence should deal with. And then it was disappointing, really, going into half-time, 0-0. Newcastle at this point should be maybe 1 or 2-0 up, and because the way we play, and the intensity just drops like that, and 0-0 was probably not a fair reflection of that first half. Going into the second half, you expect Newcastle to open up a bit more, being the home team. We just didn't do that. And we allowed Swansea, the possession, the freedom of St James's Park, if you like. And Swansea City, they took the lead after the 60th minute mark for Leroy Fer. It was a good reaction finish, but really a question called Darlow for the way the goal was conceded. So the ball got crossed in. Leroy Fer, bullet header. Great point blank save by Darlow, but you question his reactions. Why can't you parry that away for a corner? Why can't you parry that out and play for a front? Easier said than done, I suppose. But the striker, Leroy Fer, he's got to be there to finish it, and he's finished at 1-0 to Swansea, and we just didn't show up that first 50 minutes of that second half, and it's cost me really big time. And overall, I think that Swansea deserved the lead because of how bad we started that second half. But you know what? Fair play to the lads, Newcastle, for getting straight back into the game, because if Swansea City had dominated and went 2-0 up, it could have got messy. Things could have got out of hand, but they didn't. We kept plugging away, and the goal finally came through Hosselu. The ball got chipped in, and then, the striker had the shot, I think it kind of deflected from what I seen because I was on the Milburn stand, far end. And then a small finish by Hosselu considering the bodies in the box, and 1-1, you think, right, okay lads, we're back into the game, let's go, let's try and get the second goal. But nothing happened really. The game just died a death. And the reason I say it's a point gain, because we can't turn up for 10-15 minutes of the first half and maybe 5 minutes of the second half to equalise, then think, that's going to be enough to win a game, because it's not. It really isn't enough. And if fans think that's enough, then you're deluded. At the end of the day, you're so deluded, because for me, we haven't won since October. And I said in my matchday experience, if you want to go back and watch it, I said, this game is not an easy game. I'm so nervous about it because none of us will probably do something stupid. We'll either do something stupid or we'll dominate the first half and then we'll just stop playing. The best way to describe that game is, I think Swansea, for me, deserved, the points. Both teams will probably look at it as points drop, but at the end of the day, if you're a Swansea fan, you think, we've got a point, we can build on it. I mean, for us, it's probably not bad considering if you look at the end of the season, if we stay up by a point, then, you could say, brilliant for battling back to earn that point, because of that. If we didn't pick up that point, we dropped all three. If we got relegated, you think, look at Bournemouth, look at Watford, look at Swansea, all these points that we've dropped at St James's where we should be winning. Questions to be asked, really. And I think, Swansea could have nicked it at the end. I mean, Darlow, what are you doing? I mean, he's just doing that. If you're going to come out that far, your box, at least try and kick it away or do something with it, instead of just making it obvious for Swansea. And fair play, we did have players on the line, great block by Yedlin, but A better team probably would have made that 2-1. Now, on the whole complexion of the game, you probably say we did shade the chances, but overall, Swansea, you know, they came and they had a game plan, and Carlos Carvajal, you know, he's come here, he's done a job yet again on Rafa Benitez, not for the first time, you know, since he's been a manager, and I think it's something we've got to work on, you know, to try and get the confidence back for these home games, because overall it's just not been good enough. And I think, you know, looking at the January, the takeover, it's not happening at the moment. It's probably going to happen in the summer, the takeover. The performances at home just haven't been there because the fans are obviously a bit nervous about the takeover. You know, the fans, for me, just aren't getting behind the team enough, and we are trying, but it just all feels toxic at the moment, and we're playing better away from home because there's less added pressure on the squad. And, you know, now we've just got to move on to Manchester City. You know, you look at the table, we're 2 points closer to that relegation zone. I think overall, I'm not deluded to say that we should be there, because considering that the team that we've got, you know, we probably should be in that relegation zone. Bear in mind that we don't have the quality, but to be out of it's decent, and only Rafael will probably keep up this season, which I hope he does. But I think overall, we should be beating the likes of Swansea, but we just didn't do enough, and that's my point. We didn't do enough in the game to win it. You know, you can't just turn up for 15, 20 minutes and 5 minutes of the second half, and that's what, 25 minutes of play out of a full 90 minutes? Pretty woeful and lacklustre, if you ask me. That's the way to describe that performance yesterday. Very, very lacklustre. Now, yeah, like I say, Man City is a bonus game. If we get something out of that, brilliant. But I'm not expecting anything out of that game whatsoever. If we play like we did at home, where we didn't really create any opportunities, but we defended really, really well, I'll take that, because if we can keep the score down, and goal difference could be a massive thing come the end of the season, I'll happily take that as well. So yeah, leave me your thoughts about yesterday's game. You know, was it a point gained? Was it a point dropped? And if you want to check out the matchday experience, there will be a box at the end of this video. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. How are the lads? I'll see you all later. Peace out.